I'm Carter. I'm 22. Oh, okay. Nope, I'm not. Okay, restart.
This is go ahead, it's fine. Hi, my name is Eric from Expressor. I have a special guest from UNLV, Carter Chiu. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Carter. I'm 22. Oh, okay. Nope, I'm not. Okay, restart.
This is go ahead, it's fine.
Hey, I'm Carter. I'm 23 years old. I just finished my Ph.D. in computer science.
Okay. So this is something different. A lot of people they graduate from PhD when they are 28, 20.
Yeah, they're later 20s, around there.
So you pretty much saved 6 years. Wow, that's amazing. So what's the daily expression that you would love to share with the Asian people? I mean, Korean or Japanese, Chinese.
Sure, my expression is hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail on the head. So what does it mean?
It means pretty much to do something perfectly.
So can you give me an example?
An example, yeah. So for example, let's say you're working on a project with a friend, and you ask them to do something, right? So they go and do it, they come back to you and they show you, and they did a great job. You know, you can say, wow, you did amazing. You really hit the nail on the head.
So when they're done perfectly, you can use, oh, you hit the nail on the head. So that's what they can utilize. Because like a problem with the Asian culture that we are memorized to speak something. They're not like natural. They're more like Steve. Hi, my name is blah blah blah. This is lab because it's not natural. The way we learn is that more like memorized, not rather than learn from speaking it. Okay, let's get down to the his story, which is very intriguing because he graduating PhD in computer science when he is in 23. It can be 24 in Korean age. So can you share your story in computer science? How you can possibly graduate really fast compared to other people? Because right now I am like almost late 20s, so.
Right. I was kind of on a fast track. I had a few advantages. So I graduated with my bachelor's degree in computer science at 19, and I was able to do that because I finished high school at 16, right? So I started college at 16.
16, okay.
Yeah. How was I able to do that? I had a lot of support from my parents growing up. They really wanted to see me succeed. I'm sure, many of you have the same experience. They did things like they said, you don't have to do chores. Like, don't focus on chores, focus on studying. So I really had a lot of time to just focus on that, So they really motivated me, and they did things for me, They talked to the school and had me skip a couple grades in middle school. So that's how I was able to finish my studies, high school at 16, and then I was able to jump to college. Right, but the thing is, that was pretty much my parents behind me. But when I went to college, I traveled halfway across the country, and my parents aren't there anymore. So you had to kind of turn that external motivation into internal motivation. So I keep doing the things that I was taught, right? Preserve those habits and those skills, and just keep doing your own thing, but with only yourself, to lean on.
I see. So pretty much, your parents supported you really a lot, like don't do the chores. But my question is that you did like other sports thing because in Korean curriculum right now, what happened is that a lot of parents or education system support the studying hard, but at the same time, they do not want students to enjoy sports or workout because what I believe is that when you work out and study together, actually you can have efficient result rather than just like focusing on the workout. So can you share your personal story?
Yeah. I guess I kind of made it sound like I just studied 16 hours a day and went to sleep, which is definitely not the case. I had a lot of time for extracurriculars. I played baseball growing up. I played soccer also. I played piano. I was in the Boy Scouts, so
Okay.
went hiking, outdoors, camping, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I want to reiterate what Eric said. Really stress the importance of like a well-rounded, life. It's not just if you just focus on staying all the time, you're definitely gonna burn out. You need these other things. Working out right, physical health, mental health is just as important, right? That gives you the energy and the motivation to continue and to succeed.
Exactly. So Asian parents, like listen to what he said. He graduating Ph.D. when he's in 23 or 22 in this, finishing the dissertation, right? So he spent time on sports or any fun stuff while he was studying. Even though his parents supported him a lot, but at the same time, he know how to balance it out. That's actually most important in everything. Just not just study. This is for the business, any work, like whatever you do, you gotta balance it out, like hanging out or like enjoying whatever you want to do it, playing games as well. You play game too as well, right? Like yeah. So you graduated with the full scholarship. You didn't even pay a penny while you're going to school, and you worked for the Air Force before, right?
Yeah, I did a summer internship for the Air Force doing research.
And you're looking for a job at the either like Apple or Google, or it can be anywhere like Facebook, like top tier of the company in the pretty much in the world, right? In the world, like that's the top level you're going for right now. Especially people who are watching this video, that how was the experience like handling this supercomputer? Because most of us never touched. What is different, and like when do we use it?
A supercomputer.
The supercomputer, yes.
So the research I do is primarily in artificial intelligence, right?
Okay, AI, which is
Right,
AI, right?
right. Something called deep learning. That's kind of the big thing right now in
Okay.
AI. And in order to do AI, AI is very data hungry. So for example, if you're trying to learn like the difference between like a cat and a dog, right? What you do is you show the AI a bunch of pictures of cats and dogs, and then eventually it kind of learns to tell the difference between them. But really, the more data, the more pictures of cats and dogs that you have, the better. So because it's very data hungry and it needs to train, like the AI needs to learn, right? And this learning process, it's very computer intensive. So you need very powerful computers to do that. And not only that, you need specialized computers, so something that can process these things called tensors. So you have these GPU machines. You know GPUs because they're used in gaming, right? You have a GPU, it can run your games very fast because games do a lot of linear algebra operations, and GPUs do
Too much
linear
graphic
algebra.
card.
Yeah, exactly, graphics card. Yeah. So they do those operations very fast, and those are the same types of operations you need in order to train AI. So you have these powerful computers. They're more powerful than your GTX 1080s, the ones that you have on your computers. These cost, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 each, and not only that, you can have many of them running at once. So I did some experiments where I used eight of these 5K GPUs at once to train my model.
So how much does it cost supercomputer usually that you are used to handle or you're handling right now?
Well, I used a couple supercomputer clusters. I think the most expensive one that I got to play with was about 300K.
300K, which is about like 3, 4억 in Korean currency. So what did you learn or any improvement we have to make as Expressor? Because when I started the Expressor was in 2016-ish, I think, and you joined it from the pretty much from the beginning. You watched me like for like 3, 4 years, and then what did you learn, and where should we improve on? I mean, we are now not the student organization anymore, but what do you hope for? What do you want to see in the future?
Sure. So my experience with the Expressor, I definitely learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have been exposed to, in just your standard, education experience, right? I learned a lot of things about business. Those are definitely things that I didn't see before, right? So the value of getting yourself out there, talking to people, right? Really how you go about that whole process. Because, down the road, when it comes to making, when it comes to a career, right, your business acumen has to be just as good as your expertise in your field, right? So you can be, a genius in whatever field you're in, but if you don't know how to market yourself,
Right.
Then employers, they're not going to see you for what you are, right? So you really have to be able to, you have to know how to communicate and how to put yourself out there.
Exactly.
Right, all those skills, right? So the Expressor really exposed me to all that. I learned a lot of things about that sort of thing, and about in the future. I just think the Expressor, they've done a good job. Well, at our peak, we had like 40 members or something like that, right? Everyone was learning and growing and kind of becoming a better person, a more skilled business person, that sort of thing, right? Business acumen. I think the Expressor can continue to grow and teach people, those sorts of skills, allow them to be successful in their careers.
Okay. So pretty much I recruit you on the street, or it was at the dorm pretty much.
It was at a Panda Express.
Panda Express. Panda Express, pretty much Chinese fast food restaurant. They pretty much ask everyone, oh, do you want to join the Expressor? That's why I literally asked everybody. And he was one of them. And he joined it, came by the meetings a couple times. After a couple times, he kept coming for a couple years, 2-3 years, right? And then he helped me out a lot of things, fashion show, and then Gatsby party, like a lot of things. So he was a great help in the Expressor institutional organization. So if you have any questions in regard to any education or advice, please let us know, comment below so we can reply to your comments. So this is it, and his name was Chiu, and thank you for coming.